In a slum where rats outnumbered toys, 8-year-old Arjun carried bricks on his head to earn rice for his TB-stricken mother. His father had vanished into alcoholism years ago. At night, he'd whisper to the stars, "If I grow up, I'll save her." But the stars never answered. When his mother's fever spiked, Arjun stole medicine only to be caught and beaten by the chemist. As kicks rained down, he clutched the pills tighter, thinking, "Her life is worth my blood." That night, as she swallowed them, he wept silently in the dark. The monsoons flooded their shack, soaking his mother's mattress. When her cough turned bloody, Arjun ran barefoot through the storm to fetch the doctor. No money, no treatment, the man scoffed, slamming the door. Arjun knelt in the mud, screaming at the thunder until his voice broke. On her deathbed, his mother pressed a rusted key into his palm. "Our old toolbox, sell it, study." She died mid-sentence. At her funeral, a pauper's pyre, he didn't cry. He carved her name into his arm with glass of vow to remember. The state sent him to an orphanage where the warden starved children to sell donated food. Arjun survived by eating paper, his belly gnawing itself. One night, he found a dying kitten in the trash. He gave it his breadthen, buried it at dawn, with shaking hands. At 12, he fled through sewage pipes, emerging covered in filth. A street gang offered work-stealing wallets. For 3 days, he starved instead. On the 4th, a librarian caught him sleeping between bookshelves and handed him a mop. "Work here, read at night," she said. Arjun devoured books like a man possessed. He learned math by counting library coins, science from discarded textbooks. But fate struck again. The library burned down, arson for insurance money. As flames consumed his sanctuary, he rescued one finger-charred copy of Les Miserables. A kind teacher sponsored his school admission, but classmates spread rumors, "Thief! Dirty beggar!" When he aced exams, they planted drugs in his bag. The principal expelled him without a hearing. That night, he considered jumping off a bridge, until a homeless girl begged him for help. Her name was Parry, a 6-year-old orphan. Arjun gave her his last roti, then built them a shelter from scrap metal. He taught her the alphabet with stick drawings in dirt. When she asked, "Why is life so hard?" he replied, "So we learn to carry each other." While scavenging metal, a falling beam crushed Arjun's leg. The free clinic said it needed amputation. As the saw buzzed, he bit down on leather to mute his screams. Afterward, he practiced walking with a crutch made from pipe, then went back to work. Parry needed to eat. Winter came. Their shack collapsed under snow. Parry's lips turned blue. Arjun carried her for miles, his stump bleeding through bandages, until a convent took her in. "You can't stay," the nun said gently. As he turned to leave, Parry screamed, "Don't leave me!" He walked away so she'd have a future. Now alone and disabled, Arjun slept under a bridge, coughing blood. He dreamed of his mother's voice, "You've carried enough." One freezing dawn, he closed his eyes, ready to die, until a wrinkled hand shook him awake, an old man with a familiar toolbox. The man was a retired engineer who'd bought Arjun's toolbox years ago. Inside, he'd found designs for a water filter drawn by Arjun's father. "I've been searching for his family," he said. He took Arjun in, got him a prosthetic leg, and enrolled him in night school. At 22, Arjun patented a low-cost prosthetic for slum kids. At the launch, reporters asked his inspiration. He showed them Parino, a bright student, and his toolbox. "The world kept breaking me," he said, "but I learned to mend things, starting with myself." Instead of a statue, the community built a small school in Arjun's name, where poor children could learn for free. Above its entrance, a plaque read, "This school stands in honor of Arjun Rao, who taught us the greatest strength is not in standing tall, but in lifting others up." Every morning, the sound of children reciting lessons echoed through its halls. Among them was Pari, now a teacher herself, who told her students, "The boy who carried the sky now holds up your futures. Honor him by being kind." And so, Arjun's name lived not in stone, but in the light of knowledge passed down through generations, as endless as the stars he once whispered to. Dear friends, this story was not just about pain and struggle, it was about hope, courage, and never giving up. Just like Arjun, you too are on a journey. Maybe yours is learning English, overcoming challenges, or chasing a dream. Remember, every small step counts. Arjun learned from scraps of paper. You can learn from simple words. Mistakes are lessons. Even when life, or grammar, feels hard, keep going. Kindness lifts us all. Helping others is the greatest success. We make these stories for you to inspire, teach, and remind you that no dream is too small, and no learner is alone. Keep learning, keep growing. Your story is still being written.